Okay, so today's rest and restore is actually a Nidra. We're not going to move. We're going to lay down, get really, really situated. Sorry for the delay in the start. We had technical difficulties again. So,
Nidra day.
Nidra day.
Best day.
The idea of Yoga Nidra is the yoga of deep rest. It is to find such a state in the body that you can release all the tension that you're holding. So, traditionally it is taken on your back. This is just a traditional pose. Some people are more comfortable on the back, some people are not. I'm going to show you how to set up, how Kaylee sets up, but make sure you find the position where you are comfortable. You don't need to have what everybody else has. I have a client who likes to take it on her side, curled up with a bolster. She kind of hugs the bolster. I have a client who takes it on her stomach. She takes it in a crocodile on a bolster. She's just more comfortable face down. That's okay. So take it how you feel comfortable. We are in this position for 50 minutes. So you want to be as comfortable as possible.
Only 50 minutes?
Oh, you wiggle around a little for 10 minutes. So Kayla likes the black mat underneath her back to get nice and comfortable. You might need something underneath your neck if you have a tendency to force your neck down into the ground. Kaylee's okay. She likes her eye pillow. She likes a bolster in underneath her legs. This takes the pressure off your lower back.
I have another one. Can you stack them?
That takes the pressure off your lower back. She wants two today. So she has her feet flying in space. If you have only one bolster and you're able to put something underneath your feet so that they don't feel like they're falling in space, it can be very good too.
If you can use pillows if you don't have bolsters. So
use pillows. You can put your feet up on a chair. You can put your feet up on the couch. Just one thing to be mindful of, don't overly flatten your lower back down into the ground once you get it there. So let your low back be soft. And then get blankets, get comfortable, take your time. Settling in, taking your time. Making sure that you are super comfortable. Now, it's a 50-minute guided meditation. 60 minutes when we add in the get in and get out. Give yourself permission to be here, to be still. But also give yourself permission to move and shuffle if you need to. You do not have to be uncomfortable. There's no reward for being uncomfortable. If your body suddenly says, there's something I need to fidget and move and shake out, let it do it. Don't beat yourself up. Try not to be stressed. Take the time to land. And because you're trying to have an internal experience, it can be very helpful to take in your external environment so you can turn off that fight or flight response. So take a time to peek your eyes open, make sure you know where you're at. Really tell your mind and your physical body where you are in space. And then take in the sounds of the room. Take in any distractions, just so that you know what's there. You're really just not labeling whether a sound should or should not be there, but just knowing so that if a sound suddenly pops into the space, you're not so surprised by it. You may notice a little bit of sound in the room with us, with the rock climbers are downstairs preparing to reopen, so there might be a little bit of noise from downstairs. Notice that. And then just start to feel the physical body on the ground in this moment. Feel your shoulders. Feel your hips. Try to allow the skull to land on the ground and all of the muscles that support the skull to turn off and take a break. Try to soften in around the shoulders and the shoulder blades. Start to soften the torso and allow the breath to just start moving in and out without restriction, without force, just allowing the breath to arrive in and move out as if it were the waves of the ocean controlled by the moon, rolling in and rolling out. And then we'll begin the practice of rotation of consciousness, just practicing placing our mind in a single part of our body, practicing single point awareness, and also that mind-body connection. So begin with the right hand. Bring your awareness entirely to the right hand thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. Palm of the right hand, back of the right hand. Bring attention to the right wrist and imagine you could just gently soften and make space in between all the little bones of the wrist. Find the right forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit. Travel down the rib cage, a rib at a time. Find the space between the rib cage and the hip. Right hip, thigh, kneecap, behind the knee, lower leg, ankle, heel of the right foot, arch of the right foot, ball of the right foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Become entirely aware of the right side of the body, as if turning on the awareness to every cell on the right side of the body. Gently shift your awareness over to the left side of the body. Find the left hand thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, palm of the left hand, back of the left hand. Land in the left wrist, as if you could make space between all the little bones in the wrist. Left forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit. Travel down the rib cage, a rib at a time. Find the space between the rib cage and the hip. Left hip, thigh, kneecap, behind the knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, arch of the foot, ball of the left foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Become entirely aware of the left side of the body. Turn on awareness on the left side of the body. And gently move left and right sides a little more quickly. Find the left big toe, right big toe, all of the toes on both feet. Left ankle, right ankle, both ankles. Left knee, right knee, both knees. Left hip, right hip, across the back of the hips, across the front of the hips. Left rib cage, right rib cage, across the torso. Left shoulder, right shoulder, across the shoulders. Left ear, right ear, in between the ears. Left eye, right eye, both eyes. And then land in the eyes. Soften around the eyes. And then as if you could gently fall back from your vision and land in the very center of the brain. Land in the center of the brain, allowing space for whatever is present here to be present here, greeting yourself without judgment. Noticing that you can notice your thoughts. And letting go of the concept of should and should not, or right and wrong, and allow the thoughts to be as they are. Then perhaps noticing a little space in between the thoughts. We have an opportunity to work with an intention for this practice. So if you have an intention you're already working with, go ahead and start whispering it in your mind to yourself. An intention is also translated as a truth vow, a little vow we make to our inner truth. But it's also a vow that we know and believe deep down in some layer that is already true. When you make your truth vow, make it short and precise and positive, as if it were already true. For example, if I want to work with self-worth, I would say to myself, I am worthy. If I want to work with love, I am loved. Health, I am healthy and strong. So take the time to perhaps utter your sentence as if all of your body, all of the layers of your body are listening and taking it in. Say it with kindness and compassion the way you would to a dear friend. And we'll move on to the energetic layer of the body, picturing moving energy around the body, connecting with this layer of ourselves. It kind of happens automatically without us thinking about it. So bringing awareness to the crown of the head, that little place on the crown of your head that's soft when a baby is born. And imagine this space getting softer. And imagine just above you is a little cloud of energy. And this energy contains precisely what you need in this moment, and you do not need to cognitively understand what that is. Imagine from the crown of your head, you're just going to reach out and plug into that cloud, like you're plugging into an outlet and recharging. And from the crown of the head, begin to imagine this energy slowly trickling down the spine and throughout the entire physical body, gently recharging and refreshing. Connecting to the concept of bringing in this fresh energy and perhaps sweeping away stale energy, sweeping away things no longer needed, sweeping away tension, drawing in fresh and sweeping away things no longer needed. Gently and softly recharging. Whatever helps you connect to this concept of drawing in fresh energy. Maybe you give it a color, or a temperature, or a texture. Imagine drawing this fresh energy down to the tips of the toes, down to the tips of the fingertips, the palms of the hands, to the very upper layers of the skin. And then imagine gently unplugging from this energy source and connecting within into your own internal loop of your energetic highway, bringing fresh down the spine and sweeping away tension out. We'll move on to the sensation of opposites. So bring your awareness to the physical body and begin to imagine it filling with a sense of heaviness. Perhaps even imagining that you're beginning to be filled with lead. Your toes become heavy, your feet become heavy, your legs, your hips, your torso, your arms, and even your fingertips are heavy. Perhaps the hair on your head even feels heavy, and you feel heavier and heavier, feeling more and more deeply rooted and grounded and attached to the ground. Filling up your entire body with this sense of heaviness, of being solid, of being heavy. And then let that go and begin to fill up the body with the opposite sensation. A sensation of lightness, airy, soft, light feeling. Filling up your fingers and your toes, becoming softer and softer and lighter and lighter. Your arms are light and soft. Your legs are light and soft. Your head is light and soft. Perhaps even beginning to connect with the sensation that you could drift away on the softest breeze. You feel so light and soft and airy. And then gently invite in the possibility of feeling both of these sensations at the same time. The sense of softness and light, and the sense of heaviness and being solid and grounded. Both of these sensations at the same time. And then we'll work on the sensation of opposites with the sensation of emotion. So begin to bring to mind, or bring to the sense of your physical body, the sense of happiness, the sense of pure joy. And if you have a difficult time knowing how this feels in the body, allow the mind to bring a moment of pure joy to mind. And try not to focus on the memory too long. Focus in on how it feels. The sensation of joy is what we're looking for. So perhaps think of a time where you saw something like a baby laugh and you couldn't help but laugh and explode with that intense joy, that connected joy sensation. Or you saw a beautiful sunset and you couldn't help but stop and just take it in and be struck by awe, that sensation of pure joy. Allow that sensation to come to the physical body and be felt by the physical body. Focus in on how that feels in the body. And then let that soften away. And begin to bring in the sensation of sadness, the opposite sensation. And again, try not to think too much of a memory. Try not to let too many memories flood your mind. Try to let the sensation of sadness arrive in the body. See where you feel it. And let it expand, as if allowing all the sadness in the body to come to the surface for a moment. Let it be felt. Allow it to come forward. Allow it to be felt. Feel the sensation of sadness that is stored within the body. And then gently explore the possibility of allowing space for both these sensations at the same time. The sensation of sadness and the sensation of pure joy being expressed in the physical body at the same time. And then let that drift away. And return to that center point in the mind, right in the very center of the brain. And allow space for whatever is present here to be present here. Notice that you can notice what is present here. Notice that you can notice your thoughts. Understand the concept of being the witness of your own thoughts. And then understand that you are more than just your thoughts, or even the sum of all your thoughts. And you are more than just your emotions. You are the one that can witness the thoughts, and you are the one that can feel the emotions. Try to imagine dropping below the waves of the thoughts and just peeking up, looking back, allowing them to be as they are. Just firings of the mind, firings of the brain. And then we'll begin a journey with our imagination. Try to paint in as many details as you can. And we'll begin with the walk in a forest. Paint in the details of the forest. See a well-worn path ahead of you. Paint in the details of the leaves. Perhaps you see butterflies or critters. Maybe you can begin to imagine the sunlight trickling through the leaves as you walk through the forest. Perhaps there's a soft breeze that's touching your skin. It's a comfortable day. The weather seems just right. Maybe you can begin to smell the smells of the forest. Hear the sound of the leaves under your feet. And the deeper you walk into the forest, the more and more connected to nature and to the earth you begin to feel. Paint in the details of the trees. And up ahead, at the center of a small clearing, you see a giant tree. A very, very old tree. And nearby is a little stream trickling by. The tree is old, so big and so strong. And you're drawn to the tree. See yourself walking up to the tree and taking a seat at its roots, at its base, with your back up against a strong tree trunk. And as you sit there, nestled against the tree, Begin to connect with the concept of how long this tree has been on the earth and how much it's lived through. How many stored stories must be in its roots and vines and leaves and branches. Ponder the fact that many others might have sat in the same spot under the same beautiful old tree. And the longer you sit here, the more connected you feel, the more you can begin to feel like you can feel the roots of the tree, almost as if it's connecting you to the tree. You're feeling more and more grounded and connected, almost as if you're sprouting roots of your own and tying you down into the earth below. Begin to look back up at the sky and take in the blue sky, the clouds far above, and the soft breeze moving the leaves of the tree. Far in the distance, you see storm clouds coming your way. See the storm clouds. See the ferocious darkness of the sky that's beginning to come towards you. Remain connected to your tree, feeling strong and protected, sheltered by this giant tree who's lived through many storms. And then watch the storm come closer and closer. See it rattling the leaves of the trees nearby. See the branches swaying in the wind. See the darkened sky. Feel deeply grounded and protected as you watch the storm blow by. Watch it pass right on by, and in the distance you can see a little blue clearing in the clouds. Begin to see the blue clearing coming closer and closer, and the storm passing on by. And you are still here, deeply rooted, connected to the earth, connected to this big, powerful, old tree. And connect again to looking back up at a blue sky with soft, fluffy clouds. And lay here supported, grounded, protected by this big old tree, looking up at its leaves and the cloudy blue sky. Whenever a thought or distraction comes in, perhaps imagine attaching it to one of the leaves and watching a soft breeze come on by and gently blow the leaf to the ground, allowing it to drift away. See yourself getting up from your seat at the tree. As you walk away, turn back and look at the tree. Paint in the details of this big, beautiful tree. Knowing that it will be there for you should you ever need to come back. In a sacred space where you can come and be supported and grounded. Creating familiar patterns in your brain, your mind. See yourself leaving the forest down through that old worn path. And then we'll begin a practice of rapid visualization. And as I say something, see an image come to mind, observe it, and let it pass by. Try not to think about right or wrong or worry about should or should not. Just see an image and then practice letting it pass without labeling or judgment. Just notice, observation. We'll start with this single blade of grass, the dark side of the moon, and the herd of elephants. A single candle in a very dark room. The face of a mentor. Children playing in a playground. Diving into the deep blue ocean. Sand falling through your fingers. A single ant hauling a load. Birds migrating. The eyes of someone you love. Flying unicorn. A field of sunflowers. A sacred temple. Sitting in meditation. See yourself sitting in meditation. Observe yourself sitting in meditation. And before coming back from this deeply rested state, bring to mind your truth vow, your intention. And whisper it to yourself again as if planting a seed in fertile soil, knowing that it will take root and grow. Say it with kindness and love and conviction the way you would to a very dear friend. And then as gently as we went in, begin to return to the room. Begin to feel the parts of your body that are touching support below. Perhaps beginning to feel the weight of your clothes or the blanket, the temperature in the room. Open your ears and bring in a little more sound. Allow the sounds of the space that you're in to fully arrive. And from this rested state, you have the ability to really let your body's intuition take over. So as you connect to a big, long, slow breath, take a stretch without thinking about it. Allow the body to just stretch in whichever way feels good and wiggle in whatever way feels good. Wiggle the toes, the legs, just move with a long stretch. Allowing the body to kind of click and reset on its own. Let the intuition of the body come out of this rested state. Couple of long, stretchy breaths. And then bring a knee in at a time to your chest. Curl up in a little tiny ball. And then roll on over to whichever side is calling to you. Curling up in a little ball, the fetal position. Connecting with arriving back in the room, in this moment in time, in this physical body. Feel your hand on the ground. Feel your body on the ground. Arriving back in the room, ready to go back into regularly scheduled life. And the practice of Yoga Nidra goes through the philosophical layers of the body, the energetic, the physical, the mental, emotional, the intuitive, and your spiritual layer. So all these layers of the body, it's supposed to go through and adjust and balance it. Sometimes it can bring up some stuff, maybe some stuff you're ready to process. So if you feel a little emotional or a little out of sorts at all during the day, connect to nature. Go outside, see some sunlight, maybe hold on to a rock, hold on to something grounding, and just try to be with whatever comes up. Trust in the body, letting it pass. Trust in the body, bringing up what's ready to be processed. Try not to let the cognitive mind get all worked up. Let the emotion come and pass. The point of emotions is supposed to be filters for our environment. They're supposed to move and flow, move and flow. And they're only problematic when we grip and hold on. So try to allow them to pass through, not to fret too much. And ground down, find some nature. So try to come on back up and finish your practice in a seated position. Connecting to bringing our hands to prayer at heart space. So connecting to this gesture of bringing our left and right sides to meet in front of our heart. The symbol of accepting ourselves as whole and complete, precisely as we are. Our hand at our heart. Send a little bow, a little gratitude, a little unconditional love to our spark of life within, our internal guide. Taking a moment to reconnect with the breath. May we all know love, light, and connection. Thank you so much for joining us.